Hello, today I'm going to be doing a general reading for everyone, for whoever happens to come across this. If you feel called to this video, then this is for you. First of all, I would like to say, please excuse my lisp. I can't really notice it so much right now, but whenever I speak on video and then I hear my voice, I can notice it a little bit. I got my tongue split while I was in America, so I'm still getting used to that. But every day it gets a little bit easier. It's a journey. But yeah, thought I would just address that. So I'm going to be pulling from a couple decks that I actually got while I was in America. So this one is the New Orleans Oracle. It's upside down. It's really pretty. It's made by a local lady in New Orleans. I actually bought it from her store, and then actually I didn't get this other one from New Orleans. I got this one from Salem. It's just a cat people tarot, and I really love the vibe that it's got. So I'm going to be pulling from those two decks. Currently, energetically, I think we can all feel, oh sorry about my alarm, we can all feel that we're in a very strange, weird, new time with I don't know, the election as a social example, but I also feel in everyone's lives, as individuals, we're also going through a lot of changes, whether that's, you know, finding new careers, letting go of old things, places, people, whatever that means to you. And that's a forever thing as well. We're always going to be doing that and changing, because that is life. But I definitely feel right now is a very big, potent, you know, vibe. You know what I'm trying to say. Sometimes I just can't get my words out, but we are just going to pull some cards on that, just to see what the advice is. And yeah, also I got a reading from someone here on YouTube, Swimming Through the Void, which was a great reading. And one thing that he mentioned, not necessarily about me, but collectively, is that currently the North Node is in Aries and the South Node is in Libra. So if you don't know much about astrology, basically the North Node is where we're heading, and the South Node is where we are coming from, what we're leaving behind. So because it is in the South Node's in Libra, that means that we would be moving away from relationships and connections, even people pleasing, because Libra rules, you know, connection. It's a very social sign. It has that kind of energy, whereas Aries is more about the self. So we're all collectively just kind of moving into a place where we're prioritizing our own needs, what makes us happy, rather than worrying about other people and kind of shortcutting ourselves. So I just thought I would mention that, because I had no idea that that's what was going on at the moment, but it just makes so much sense, and I'm sure that it's going to make a lot of sense to whoever's watching this as well. So what have we got here? Success is our first card for the reading, and then we have got flow. These are just so pretty. And end of cycle. For real. So yeah, I think in the last general reading that I did, I think I actually touched on this as well, how we were kind of in a transformative sort of phase. I feel we've kind of turned the page. Do you know what I mean? We're not in the middle of the page turning, or about to turn the page. I feel the page has turned. We've made a lot of decisions, and we've gone through the motions, so to speak, and now we're currently in the new phase. But that doesn't necessarily mean that we've completely stepped into the middle of it. Do you know what I mean? Like, we haven't quite reached the middle of the new chapter. We're still finding out what is to come next and what we want to come next. When it comes to flow, this is kind of like the state that you want to be in life, where everything is just kind of making sense. It's easy, like, not to say that life in general is just easy and is always going to be easy, but it's the thing that you want to aim for, right? Everything kind of, yeah, just going as it should be, right? So if you kind of think of flow as like the flow of a river, the little rocks and twigs and stuff that have kind of fallen in through the storm, the chaos, is what has like blocked the flow of your river. And so like what we've currently all collectively been doing is going through that river and just kind of pulling out the stones, pulling out the rocks, so that our life, the river, can flow as it should be. Because sometimes like we have connections in our life that make us second guess, I guess, like the connection. It can make us second guess ourselves, make us second guess our self-worth, but not just people connections, but also maybe like the place that we're living, the way that we're living, habits, a career. It could be anything, but basically what we're doing is almost like pulling the weeds as well. That's like another example. So these are just things that, you know, over time in our lives could have served like a period or a chapter, but they're just not going to come with us in the next chapter. And it doesn't necessarily mean that like we need to give that negative energy, or to like, what's the word, like to like disgrace it almost. Like that's like the first word that kind of came to my brain. But you know what, like when you're letting go of things and they're not gonna come with you, you don't necessarily need to be like, oh, like fuck that, like I'm not gonna, you know, I'm not dealing with that or them or this thing anymore and blah blah blah. Like you don't necessarily need to disrespect it. I think there's like a message of like respecting the purpose that these things have had in your life, thanking them and just like letting it go, and you know, not necessarily needing to carry bad blood into the next chapter, because that's not what you want. And that kind of goes against this as well, like the flow. If you're constantly giving these things from the past energy, you're kind of trudging against the stream, like swimming against the stream, if that makes sense. So leave the past in the past. Don't let things that have not gone your way pull you back into a place of you know, where it was trying to pull you to begin with. Do you know what I mean? I hope that makes sense. And yeah, because if we just like focus forward on the future, we get this, we get the success. But yeah, just putting energy to the things that we've moved on from doesn't really make sense, because you've moved on from it, or you're wanting to move on from it. So just, yeah, just like try and not give things bad blood. That's, I hope, yeah, again, I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna pull one more from this, and then I'm gonna go on to the tarot. Peace. Pretty much exactly what I was talking about. The reason that you want to move on from things is because you want that peace, you want that flow, you want things to be happy, successful, going well. So like, if things from the past that you've decided to move on from were disrupting your peace, like, stop giving it energy. You know what I mean? Because you're just doing the exact opposite of what you're intending to do. And I hope that makes sense. I should probably stop saying that. That's like really annoying during a reading, me just like repeating that. But that's a message. I am going to pull from the tarot now. Ooh, okay, that just flipped. So we have got the 9 of Wands and the Ace of Wands. Okay, so I'll just show you because these cards are super cool. They're very like almost like sci-fi 80s kind of vibes, but not. I don't know. They're just very different. Yeah, so like this is just a time for like new inspiration, like the previous card said, and I've been saying, we're moving into like a new chapter, or we are in the new chapter. The Ace of Wands is very much a new chapter. It's the beginning, but with the aces, they don't promise the success. They are just the opportunity, and it is your decision as to whether you're going to take that opportunity or not. So yeah, also with like the wands, it's like a very creative, driven, inspiring suit. So you're being asked to like, or we are being asked to see where we're being like creatively pulled, and to also not like, you can obviously like have like a set goal, but don't have like a set vision on how to get there. Just play. Like with that flow state card that we had just before, flow is just all about like going where you're called to. The water will flow where it, you know, is drawn to flow, right? So like water is not rigid, so you're being asked to not be very rigid with like the way that you're moving. Opportunities may come up, and it's up to you whether the water inside of you feels drawn to flow in that direction or not. If you feel like something is not for you, like listen to that. You don't need to take every single opportunity, but it is important to take opportunities when they're there, because sometimes there is a time limit. But yeah, so I'm just really getting this vibe of like moving through self-limiting beliefs as well, things that in the past, and as well like the thing with like moving on from things and letting things go, that gives us confidence, right, to be like, wow, like I've just, you know, used my own discernment to make decisions over my own life. So like that gives us confidence to like move forward in the direction that we want to go in. So like remind yourself of like what, you know, what you've already done for yourself. Remind yourself of like just like the, I'm really like bad with my words today, discernment, just like the confidence and power that you have shown yourself to just make decisions for yourself. Another thing as well that I've noticed with me, I don't know if other people relate to this, but I've just like been a lot better lately with just making decisions and not really consulting other people like before I make them. Like I've just been doing it, and then I just tell people afterwards, or I tell people like once the decision is made, instead of being like, you know, like, what do you think of this, or will this happen, will that happen? Like I'm just like, this is what I wanted to do, I'm gonna do it. So whereas before I was very like not like, I've always been like pretty driven and stuff, but like a lot of the time, like I do find myself like or should I do this or should I do that, but like I'm not doing that so much. But you know, North Node, South Node, that really makes sense going into Aries, right? We're trusting ourselves and trusting our own decisions, and you know, also trusting that like other people are going to stay in our lives, or at least like the right people and the right things are going to stay in our lives after we make these decisions for ourselves. Because at the end of the day, like if you make a decision that other people don't like, and or you know, like things around you don't resonate with you anymore, that's a good thing, because like you're closer to, you know, being around things, people, places that are actually like on the same like vibrational level as you, which is what you want. You don't want to be like surrounded by people who like actually want you to be different, like in a way that isn't comfortable for you, like so that you feel like you're a fucking fish out of water, right? So yeah, there's like a message of like trusting yourself, trusting like where you're guided to go, and like consulting people less, or not at all. Oh, okay, so we got the Star, which is just all about living the life that you want. It's about inspiration, about hope for the future, creativity. It's just about like uniqueness and just like shining as you are, making decisions for yourself in like your way, like for yourself, and just trusting that it's going to lead you to exactly where you're supposed to be, surrounded by people who actually appreciate you for your uniqueness, and not surrounded by people who are like judgmental or jealous or like whatever the fuck, you know what I mean? Are you picking up what I'm putting down? I don't really know like what else like can be said about this reading, but I'll pull 2 more cards. So we've got the Devil in reverse, and we've got the 5 of Pentacles. Cute. Okay, I'll show you those cards. These cards are just so cool. With the Devil in reverse, this is just like, yeah, letting go of like things that have kept us chained, because the Devil card is very much about like addiction, things that keep our mind like in like, you know, in one little area and not to like the bigger picture. This is just like a sign of us moving out into the world with a fresher, wider perspective, where, yeah, like we're just all not being like confined by societal expectations, fear, which is great. The 5 of Pentacles, like with this card, like I'm just getting like a like a bit of like a rest kind of vibe. You know, yeah, like the main message that I'm getting from this 5 of Pentacles card is just rest, relaxation, yeah, just taking moments to, what's the word, to just take it all in, to process, because some of us, like for me as an example, I just spent like a month in America. Sometimes I need like a moment to just, you know, take it all in, process what the fuck like I did over there, and just processing like change as well, with like dynamics. God, my lisp is so bad, I can actually hear it now, but like dynamics in my life, and coming back to not working at a job that I worked at for 8 years, you know, and I'm sure that other people are dealing with change on, you know, other levels as well. So it's just like a little reminder to just kind of take it in sometimes. Like, yes, you're in a new chapter, yes, there's like new opportunities coming in, but like, don't burn yourself out. Don't yeah, like just don't feel like you need to just be like trudging through everything constantly, like go. Like, take a moment sometimes, appreciate yourself for like all the things you've done, where you've been, so that you can actually like get this inspiration. Because with like being inspired and stuff, sometimes we do need to kind of reel it in and like step back, because like you can't really get inspired if you're just constantly like burning through the candle. Do you know what I mean? Like, you need to just sit and just let the inspiration come. So I think that would be really beneficial if you're in a place where you're feeling yeah, like maybe some people watching this are not really too sure of like where they want to go. That would be the advice for you, is to just kind of reel it in and just take a sec to exist, you know, and not feel like you have to be productive, because you don't have to be. Like, you didn't ask to be born. Just vibe for a second, and then the answers will come. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this reading. I really hope that you enjoyed it and you got what you needed from it. Not to be cringe, but also to be cringe. If you like this video, feel free to give it a like, because it just helps me out, and it also helps to get the video out to other people who might need this reading. So yeah, I hope you have a great day.